The MH370 Mystery. In this video, we will provide information about the Malaysian Airlines Flight 370, which was a scheduled international passenger flight, operated by Malaysian Airlines, that disappeared on 8th of March 2014, while flying from Kuala Lumpur International Airport to its destination, Beijing Capital International Airport. Despite having the high-end technology, the flight wasn't found till date. On 8th of March 2014, the MH370 flight was a Boeing 777-200 aircraft scheduled to depart from Kuala Lumpur International Airport at 12:35 a.m. and arrive at Beijing Capital International Airport at 6:30 a.m. There were 227 passengers, 2 pilots and 10 cabin crew members on board. The journey time is 5.5 hours and the flight had fuel sufficient for about 7.5 hours to fly. And that plane never had any technical issues in the past. At 1:21 a.m., when the flight was between Malaysia and Vietnam, the transponder in the flight that helps the airport keep track of the flight has stopped working. There were no storms and the sky was clear, which means most likely the transponder didn't stop working on its own, and somebody could have turned it off manually. Even when the transponder doesn't work, the military radars will be able to track the flight. As per the military radar, the flight turned left from the scheduled path, and after traveling in that direction for a while, the flight turned right and traveled in that direction for a while. At 2:22 a.m., the flight entered the Indian Ocean, to where the flight could have been tracked on the military radar. This point onwards the flight will not be tracked on the military radar, but the flight is still in communication with the satellite. And as per the satellite, the flight took a left turn again as it entered the Indian Ocean, and traveled in that direction for about 5 hours. About 1 hour past the scheduled time of arrival at Beijing, the Malaysian government announced that the MH370 flight went missing. At 8:19 a.m., the flight stopped communicating with the satellite. Most likely the flight had crashed, as it had been over 7.5 hours since takeoff, and the flight had run out of fuel. The Malaysian military had started its search operations around the location where the flight stopped communicating with the satellite, in about 4.66 million square kilometer of area, but couldn't find a single part of the MH370 flight. After a year, 4,000 kilometers away from the crash location, near an island called Reunion Island, which is close to Madagascar, they could find a small part of the flight's wing, and found few other small parts near Africa, but couldn't find the flight. In January 2017, the government has stopped the search operations. This became the most expensive search operation in aviation history. Ocean Infinity, an American company, started search operations for MH370 in January 2018. At its own expense, as the company can make a name for itself if they can find the flight, but fail to locate the flight. There are 2 major theories on why the flight went missing. Number 1. The flight was hijacked by the passengers. 2 Iran citizens boarded the flight with stolen passports. A theory stated that these 2 passengers could have hijacked the flight. But in the investigation, it was found that they were just trying to enter China illegally and settle there, moving away from Iran to have a better life, and are not terrorists, and don't know how to fly a plane. After that, the government conducted a background check on all passengers and the pilots, and no evidence was found that the flight could have been hijacked. Number 2. Hypoxia. This theory states that there could have been a fire accident in the flight, and the pilots might have turned the flight back for an emergency landing, but were not able to, due to an electrical problem. And with the increasing smoke, everyone including the pilots might have fallen unconscious. So the flight flew as long as it had fuel, and crashed when there was no more fuel. There were few other theories, as some people said that the flight had disappeared into the black hole, or aliens could have stolen the flight, or cyber criminals might have hijacked the flight. No evidence was found supporting any of these theories. Only the people inside the flight know what had happened, and none of them are alive. After this incident, The flight tracking system has improved and are using advanced technology. This was the deadliest accident in Malaysian Airlines history until just a couple of months later, when a Malaysian Airlines flight was shot down while flying over Ukraine. There was a war going on between two groups in Ukraine. When they saw the MH370 flight in the air, they assumed it to be a military aircraft, and launched a surface-to-air missile on it. The missile hit the flight, causing the flight to crash, and everyone in the flight had died. Thank you for watching this video. If you find this video interesting, please like the video and share it with your friends. For more interesting videos, please subscribe and hit the bell icon to get notified every time we upload a new video.